North West's shocking new look, the internet erupts over 106-carat diamonds, black grills and bridge piercing. North West just broke the internet again. And this time, the controversy is bigger than ever. At just 12 years old, Kim Kardashian and Kanye West's eldest daughter has social media in an absolute frenzy with her latest TikTok videos. We're talking bridge piercings, black grills, turquoise hair, and a 106-carat diamond skull necklace that probably costs more than most people's houses. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this self-expression? Or has Kim Kardashian gone too far as a parent? The internet is divided, and people have strong opinions. The receipts are here, the comments are wild, and the drama is intense. Welcome to my channel, please like and subscribe and turn on the notification bell to stay tuned. Let's dive in. Let's break down exactly what went down on January 3, 2026. North West posted a series of videos on the Kim and North TikTok account. The joint account she shares with her mom that's supposedly monitored by an adult. In these videos, North is serving a full look. A horizontal bridge piercing through her nose, though sources say it's likely fake, just like her previous piercings. Black grills covering her teeth, a complete switch from the sparkly, pointed diamond grills she showed off on Christmas. Long turquoise blue hair extensions that gave her a complete rock star vibe. And here's the showstopper. A 106-carat diamond skull pendant with blue eyes that was a Christmas gift from Kim. She paired. North was dancing and lip-syncing with her friend who had hot pink hair and similar fake piercings. One video was captioned, "We the real rock stars," and the people were mesmerized, shocked, concerned, and impressed all at the same time. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, or rather, the diamond skull around her neck. This isn't just any necklace. This is a custom-made, 106-carat diamond skull pendant on a white chain-link necklace with spikes. The skull has light blue gem eyes that match North's aesthetic perfectly. This was North's Christmas present from Kim Kardashian. 106 carats. To put that in perspective, most engagement rings are between 1 and 3 carats. This necklace could have over 100 engagement rings worth of diamonds. That's potentially millions of dollars hanging around a 12-year-old's neck. And she's just casually wearing it to make TikToks in her room. Social media exploded over this. People are asking, is this normal? Is this what wealth looks like in 2026? Or is this sending the wrong message to young girls watching? Should children be flaunting extreme wealth online? What does this teach kids about materialism and values? Some people think it's iconic and that North should enjoy her family's success. Others think it's absolutely insane to give a child that kind of jewelry, especially to wear casually and not for special occasions. One fashion site called it the real showstopper of her outfit. Another outlet said it sparked buzz across social media platforms. Luxury watch and jewelry expert accounts were analyzing the piece, estimating its value and discussing the craftsmanship. The divide is clear. People are either Team North or Team Concerned Parent. There's literally no middle ground here. But the criticism goes deeper than just this one video. Critics started bringing up North's entire online presence and lifestyle. Her Instagram account that launched in December 2025, which people said was too early for a preteen. Her interactions with adults in the entertainment industry, including being photographed with a 25-year-old rapper on New Year's Eve, which raised eyebrows about appropriate boundaries. Her bleached eyebrows, which some said made her look too mature. Previous controversial outfits, especially in Rome where she wore a corset top that many deemed inappropriate for an 11-year-old at the time. People are basically questioning every parenting decision Kim has made when it comes to North's public image. One harsh comment called Kim an utter failure of a mother. Another said she's modeling North after early 2000s party girls like Paris Hilton and Lindsay Lohan, suggesting history is repeating itself in a troubling way. People are saying North is being pushed to grow up too fast, and that she's looking twice her age. There are concerns about her exposure to adult situations, her access to social media without apparent restrictions, and whether she's being used for content and attention. The backlash is real, And it's not just random trolls, legitimate parenting discussions are happening across social media platforms, with child psychologists and family therapists weighing in on what's healthy for a child in the spotlight. So what does Kim Kardashian have to say about all this? She's not staying silent, and she's been consistently defending her parenting choices for months now. Kim has addressed the criticism multiple times across various interviews and platforms, and her stance is clear. She believes in letting North express herself creatively while maintaining boundaries she thinks are appropriate. In November 2025, Kim revealed that when she showed North some of the online hate and criticism, North's response was simply, "This is such a non-issue." Kim called it a good clapback and praised North's confidence in handling negativity. Kim said she was actually impressed by how unbothered North was by people's opinions, seeing it as a sign of strong self-esteem and emotional maturity. Kim explained that North understands that not everyone will like her choices, and she's okay with that. On the Call Her Daddy podcast in October 2025, Kim went deeper into North's personality and how she handles criticism. Kim said, "She's really mature in one sense where she'll be like, 'Mom, I saw this and I don't really care that they don't like my blue hair, or my this or that.' And she's really confident and is like, 'I probably wouldn't be hanging out with those people.'" Kim painted a picture of North as someone who's self-assured and doesn't seek validation from strangers online. Kim also explained, her and her girlfriends, they love doing costumes, they love doing looks. It's Halloween season, so they put on fake tattoos on their face, fake piercings. They all had their colored hair. Kim frames it as normal preteen experimentation, just happening in a very public way. But here's something interesting that shows Kim does have limits. Kim straight up admitted to making mistakes, in front of the whole world, when it came to North's Rome corset outfit from 2023. She said, "Okay, we're never wearing that again." This proves that Kim does listen to criticism and adjusts when she thinks it's warranted. She acknowledged that the outfit was too mature and that she made an error in judgment. So Kim isn't completely ignoring all feedback, she's selective about what she takes to heart. However, Kim also stands firm on letting North express herself creatively in ways she supports. Kim has said, "If you want blue hair, it is what it is. It makes her so happy. I would never take that creativity away from her." Kim believes that letting North experiment with temporary things like hair color, fake piercings, and edgy fashion is harmless and actually beneficial for her development. Kim has talked about how North is naturally artistic and creative, and restricting her self-expression would be damaging to her spirit. Kim sees herself as a supportive mother who's allowing her daughter to figure out who she is. But what about Kanye West's perspective? This is where things get complicated. Back in 2022, Kanye was very vocal about his opposition to North being on TikTok. He publicly criticized Kim for allowing the account, saying he didn't want his daughter on social media at all. Kanye posted on Instagram, before his account was suspended, "Since this is my first divorce I need to know what I should do about my daughter being put on TikTok against my will." He was clearly upset and felt his parenting input was being ignored. Kanye's concerns seem to center around North's safety, privacy, and the appropriateness of a young child having a public social media presence with millions of followers. At the time, Kanye's concerns resonated with many people who agreed that young children shouldn't be on social media, especially not with the level of exposure North had. Kim responded by saying the account was monitored and that it brought North joy, but Kanye wasn't satisfied with that answer. The disagreement became public and messy, adding another layer to their already complicated co-parenting relationship. But here's what's interesting, since then, Kanye seems to have softened his stance or at least gone quiet about it. He's reportedly been spending more time with the kids, including taking North to China for his concerts and other events. So where does he stand on all this now? Is he still opposed to North's social media presence? Does he approve of the grills, the piercings, the designer gifts? Or has he given up fighting Kim on these issues? The truth is, we don't know Kanye's current stance because he hasn't publicly commented on North's recent looks or social media activity. His silence could mean several things. Maybe he's accepted that Kim has primary custody and makes these decisions. Maybe he's trying to avoid public conflict for the sake of their kids. Maybe he's focused on his own controversies and career. Or maybe he's having these conversations privately with Kim and North without broadcasting them to the world. Whatever the reason, Kanye's voice is notably absent from this current controversy, which is interesting given how vocal he was in 2022. From Kim's perspective, she's trying to balance being a modern, supportive parent with protecting her daughter. She's talked about how she grew up in a different era and is navigating social media parenting in real time, making mistakes and learning as she goes. Kim has said she consults with therapists and parenting experts about what's appropriate, though critics question whether she actually follows their advice. Kim also points out that North has security, supervision, and a support system around her at all times. She's not unsupervised or unprotected, even if it sometimes looks that way to outsiders. Kim has also addressed the wealth display issue, though not directly about the 106-carat necklace. She's said in the past that her kids are aware they're privileged and that she teaches them gratitude and hard work. Kim claims she doesn't just hand her kids everything. They have chores and responsibilities. But critics argue that giving a 12-year-old a multi-million-dollar necklace completely contradicts those supposed lessons about humility and gratitude. How can you teach a child the value of money when they're wearing more wealth than most people will see in a lifetime? The parenting debate also touches on something deeper. What kind of childhood is North actually having? Kim argues that North is happy, confident, creative, and surrounded by love. That she's getting opportunities most kids dream of, traveling the world, meeting celebrities, accessing the best education and resources. Kim believes North's life is privileged but not problematic. But others argue that North is losing her childhood to content creation and public scrutiny. That she's being trained to perform for cameras and seek validation through likes and views. That she's being exposed to adult concepts and situations before she's emotionally ready. That the pressure of millions of people watching and judging her every move will have psychological consequences we won't see until she's older. And North herself? She's clapping back at haters directly, which shows she's aware of the criticism and has opinions about it. Last month, when people criticized her finger piercing, she posted a TikTok lip-syncing to Christian Rock saying, "Why are you crying? How old are you? Just pull it together." She captioned it, "This is for everyone that's mad over a finger piercing." This wasn't a gentle response, this was North telling her critics to grow up and stop caring about her choices. This 12-year-old is reading critics for filth and she is not apologizing. Some people see this as confidence and healthy boundary setting. Others see it as a child who's been taught to engage with negativity online instead of being protected from it. But let's zoom out for a second. What's really going on here? North West is growing up in the most public way possible. She's the daughter of two of the most famous, and controversial, people on the planet. She has 22 million people watching her TikToks. She's been photographed by paparazzi since she was a baby. She's been a tabloid fixture since birth. Her parents' relationship, divorce, and co-parenting struggles have all played out publicly. She's never known privacy or normalcy in the way most people understand those concepts. Some people argue that she's just a kid exploring her identity, like everyone does at that age. The difference? When most people put on fake tattoos and wore all black as preteens, only their parents and classmates saw it. When North does it, the world has an opinion. She's doing normal preteen things, testing boundaries, trying new looks, figuring out who she is separate from her parents. But she's doing it under a microscope. Supporters say we should give her the same grace we'd give any 12-year-old going through an edgy phase. They point out that the piercings are fake, the tattoos are temporary, the hair color will wash out. Nothing she's doing is permanent or truly harmful. She's playing dress up with bigger props and a bigger audience, but it's still just play. Others argue that Kim has a responsibility to protect North from growing up too fast, from being over-sexualized, from having access to things that are age-inappropriate. Social media accounts with millions of followers and no apparent content restrictions. Expensive jewelry that makes her a target for theft or kidnapping. Adult circles in the entertainment industry where she could be taken advantage of. A public image that sexualizes or matures her beyond her years. Critics say Kim is prioritizing content, attention, and maintaining the family brand over North's well-being. That every cute TikTok and fashion moment is actually training North to perform for public consumption. That Kim is repeating the cycle she experienced as a young woman in the spotlight, but starting it even earlier with North. There's also the question of whether North even has a choice in all this. At 12 years old, can she truly consent to having 22 million followers? Does she understand the permanent digital footprint she's creating? Can she opt out of the family business of being famous? Kim would probably argue that North loves the attention and fame, that she wants to be on TikTok and Instagram, that she asks to attend events and be in the spotlight. And that might be true. But is a 12-year-old capable of making informed decisions about lifelong public exposure? Or is she just doing what she's been raised to do, not knowing any alternative? Child development experts who've commented on the situation, without knowing North personally, generally agree on a few things. First, social media can be harmful to preteens' mental health and self-esteem. Second, constant public scrutiny can interfere with normal identity development. Third, children need privacy and normalcy to develop healthy boundaries and relationships. Fourth, giving children extremely expensive items can distort their understanding of value and create entitlement. But they also note that every child is different, and some kids are more resilient than others. Maybe North is thriving. Maybe she'll look back on this time fondly. Or maybe the consequences won't be apparent until she's an adult processing her childhood in therapy. We simply don't know yet. So what's the internet's final verdict? Well, there isn't one. Social media is completely split. For every person defending North's creativity, there's someone calling out Kim's parenting. For every "slay queen" comment, there's a "this is inappropriate" critique. Some people are celebrating that North is confident, artistic, and unbothered by hate. They see her as a future icon who's finding her voice early. They point out that she's got more personality and confidence at 12 than most adults have their entire lives. They argue that letting her experiment with fashion and self-expression is progressive parenting. They say the fake piercings and colored hair are harmless compared to what some kids her age are dealing with. They believe North is being raised to be a strong, independent woman who doesn't bow to public pressure or traditional expectations. Others are genuinely concerned. They worry about a 12-year-old having unlimited social media access with millions of followers watching her every move. They're concerned about her wearing grills and designer clothes that make her look much older than she is. They question her interactions with adults in the entertainment industry who might not have appropriate boundaries. They worry about her being exposed to millions of eyes judging, sexualizing, and commenting on her appearance and behavior. They question what kind of childhood North is actually having when so much of it seems performative. They fear for her mental health and future well-being. They wonder if Kim is repeating toxic cycles from her own rise to fame. And honestly, both sides have valid points. This isn't black and white. This is complicated. North is growing up in circumstances that are completely unprecedented. There's no parenting handbook for raising a child with this level of fame and wealth in the social media age. Kim is navigating uncharted territory, making decisions in real time, and doing it all while millions of people watch and judge. She's going to make mistakes. She already has, by her own admission. But is this current path, the TikToks, the jewelry, the mature styling, a mistake? Or is it actually fine, and we're all overreacting because it makes us uncomfortable? One thing is certain, Northwest isn't going anywhere. Whether people love her or criticize her, she's capturing attention. And in the Kardashian world, that might be exactly the point. North is being groomed to be the next generation of the family empire, whether intentionally or not. She's learning how to control narrative, command attention, and turn controversy into engagement. She's mastering skills that made her mom a billionaire: personal branding, social media savvy, and the ability to make people care about your every move. From that perspective, Kim might actually be an excellent parent preparing North for the life she's inevitably going to lead. Or she might be stealing North's childhood and agency in the process. The truth probably lies somewhere in between. The reality is that we won't know the true impact of Kim's parenting choices until North is much older. We won't know if she'll thank her mom for letting her express herself freely, or resent her for exploiting her childhood for content and attention. We won't know if the confidence we see now is genuine self-esteem or a performance she's learned to give. We won't know if the material excess will breed entitlement or if Kim's attempts at teaching gratitude will take root. We won't know if the online exposure will damage her mental health or if she'll thrive as the confident, creative person Kim believes she's raising. All we can do right now is watch, comment, debate, and wait to see how North's story unfolds. So there it is, the complete breakdown of Northwest's latest viral moment and the absolute chaos it's caused online. Is Kim Kardashian a cool mom letting her daughter express herself? Or is she letting things go too far? Is Kanye right to have been concerned about social media, or is his silence now a sign he's accepted Kim's approach? Is North a confident kid having fun, or a child being pushed into adulthood too fast? The debate continues, and the internet remains divided. One thing's for sure, Northwest will continue making headlines, pushing boundaries, and dividing public opinion. And we'll all keep watching, whether we approve or not. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our engaging content.